What's going on, guys? It's your boy Amazing. We're back with another video, and in today's video, guys, I'm gonna be talking about who should you be using as your tank in the bird/deer, Matrona, or Festival Diane. So let's get into the video. Before we actually hop into the video, make sure to subscribe to your boy Amazing. We are on the road to 20k subscribers, man. At the time of recording this video, we're at 19,240 subscribers on the YouTube channel. You guys have been showing a ton of support lately, so let's keep it up. We're almost at 20k, and yeah, let's hop in. So first things first, I wanted to talk about Matrona versus Diane and why you would want to pick either or depending on your situation. So specifically for the bird, if you run Magelda on your team, I would highly advise you bring Diane over Matrona, and the reason for that is because you already have healing from Magelda, so your healing part of the kit that Matrona has, you don't have to worry really when like that Diane needs or not. You know what I mean? Diane does have healing on her ultimate, and it does scale the higher your ultimate move level. But personally, I think the healing from this is like very like you know, negligible. Like you don't really get that much of a bonus for healing anyway. Honestly, the most important thing I think that Diane has for her kit, especially for something like the deer/the bird, is that she's gonna be increasing her damage, right, and also, you know, having damage taken buffs up to 500k of damage taken, right? So when taking damage from the enemy, increases the hero's damage dealt by 10% up to 50%, and then combines up to 500k damage taken by skills and skill effects, then increases damage dealt by 20% of the accumulated amount. This also decreases allies damage taken by 40% while a stance is active. So having Diane's stance up as well is also going to give you the full team 40% damage reduction across the board, which I think is really strong as well. So that's why I say like Diane is a really good option if you have a healer already, because at that point you have a really strong tank alongside your healer. The reason you would want to run Matrona, let's say, would be if you're not running Magelda on your bird team and you decide, oh, let me bring Matrona to give me the heals. So if you guys don't know what Matrona does, let's actually pull up what she does as well, because she's going to be a really good free to play option. And if you don't have Festival Diane for either of the situations, you can still bring Matrona. So Matrona is really good because her passive is for every 1% of the hero's diminished HP, increases allies regeneration rate by 2% at the start of the allies turn. So basically what regeneration rate does is it's like your starter turn healing basically. So the higher your regeneration rate, the more your whole team is going to heal based on how low Matrona's health is. So when you're at like 1% health on the deer and you've taken like a big hit or on the bird, then you're actually going to be healing your whole team by a really good margin, man. Alongside that, other than her passive right here, Matrona does have a little bit better of skills compared to Diane for the bird specifically, because she does actually have buff removal, which is a really important skill, because it's able to actually take away the buffs that the bird or the deer gets, and able to abuse that. The difference between Matrona and Diane's skills as well, by the way, is that Matrona actually does have a blue buff taunt skill. This is the same one as the regular Diane, and the reason this one is so good is because it starts at 3 turns regardless of the rank of the skill. So you're always gonna have 3 turns on this taunt, while with Diane you're actually only gonna have 2 turns on the first rank, and it's also a stance skill, not a buff skill. So the reason this matters, and this can be not a make or break, but is definitely an important thing, when you're on stage 3 phase 4 and you get basically you attack and you don't get a kill on the first turn, he's actually going to disable stance skills as the first skill that they disable, which is kind of annoying for Diane, because that means you're forced to either drop a stance the turn before, or you have to drop a stance in that turn basically. So that's kind of the only issue I have with Diane. Other than that, I think her taunt is really strong and it's going to give you the damage reduction. Her attacking skill compared to Matrona's as well is mainly just a gauge control one. The higher is basically fast go to skill, by the way, for pulverize. So the more you do more damage, the more gauge you have, and then if you have 4 more ultimate move gauge, it's going to remove 1 gauge from the enemy, so you can actually use that to kind of have some pretty good gauge control. But basically, at the end of the day, it comes to what situation are you using these characters in. So if you're running the bird and you're running let's say a Magelda comp, Matrona is still really good, but Diane is going to give you a better benefit because she's going to be able to dish out a ton of damage, which Matrona can't do, and she's going to be able to tank a lot better for your team and give you a lot more damage reduction. Because Matrona doesn't provide damage reduction for your team, she just makes tanking for herself very easy, right? So that's the thing that she has over Diane, let's say. So another thing to talk about as well is that Diane herself has a lot better CC, and that's just base, like regardless of like outfits or anything like that. She's just gonna be a stronger character. Like if I put my HP defense set on my Diane, it's gonna be at 63,900. That's at 2 out of 6, by the way, with cosmetics. But Matrona, even with cosmetics, will probably get up to like 61k CC, 60k CC maybe, because mine is at 57k right now. If I can find her. Mine's at 57k with HP defense, and I have a pretty good HP defense set, right? Like, it's basically 14% rolls across the board. So that just goes to show, like, if you have Diane and you have a UR gear set for her, use Diane, man. Diane's gonna be really strong. The only way I wouldn't use Diane is if you don't bring a healer. If you don't bring a healer on your team, that's gonna be a time where, like, oh, it's gonna be a little bit iffy. And that's mainly for the bird, right? Like if you have Brunhilde on your team, maybe you can still possibly bring Diane, because if that's the case, then you can bring a Brunhilde alt to heal. So let's talk about deer now that we've kind of went over mainly bird. I'm gonna reset here and actually talk about the team comp. So let's say you do bring Matrona or Diane. The only thing is with that is that if you bring Matrona or Diane, you have to have another red character on your team, because running Jormungandr on the team, she's gonna be your green slot and have double single target. Diane and Matrona both have only one attacking card other than their ultimate, so they're both gonna have either, you know, like let's say you use Diane, you're probably gonna top deck a stand skill and her single target, so you only have one card for her in her disposal. So what you want to do if you do bring Diane, you can do a team like this where you bring Jormungandr, Diane, Sariel, and the one Escanor. This can be a really good team because you have your healer in Jormungandr, and you're bringing Diane here as well to be your main tank, and you also have Sariel to make up for the skills that she doesn't have if you're, you know, basically trying to cycle through the cards. So Matrona works the same slot as well. It honestly just depends on who you have and if you like decide on using either or. I honestly think that Matrona is better for the deer specifically, and Diane is better for the bird. But it all depends on your team, obviously, and if you guys can get your team situated in the manner. Matrona is going to be able to heal your whole team a lot better, but Jormungandr, after getting this skill right here, is actually able to heal most of your team regardless of anything really, after she's stacking up her cards, because she's going to heal your team most of the time by 30% damage dealt, which is a pretty good chunk of damage, man. She's going to be healing your team by a good amount. And then alongside that, like giving your all stats to everybody, they're going to start life stealing a crazy amount. So at that point, it comes down to, do you value Matrona's like remove buff skill maybe, or do you value that her taunt skill is 3 turns across the board? You'd have to let me know, guys, in the comment section below, man. But honestly, I do prefer Matrona on the deer, but I usually don't even run taunt units in general on the deer anymore. It's mainly just like attacking units for now. But for the bird, I highly advise you guys bring Diane if you have Miguelda. If you don't have Miguelda and you're running like a green Gulther team with like Brunhilde, let's say, it would be a lot safer to bring Matrona just for the heals, man, just to be safe. So that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as always. If you guys want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace out and have a great rest of your day.